So we did an Illmatic reaction together a while ago. Well, it wasn't my reaction, but it was your reaction.
Yeah.
We did a Wu-Tang album as well.
We did.
And then we did a discussion video shortly afterwards, probably maybe half a week afterwards or something like that.
Yeah, not long after.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty... the conversation was fruitful.
It was a lot of fun.
And it's fun. So this video is also just going to be a discussion based on his reaction, and I might put some of my thoughts in as well.
Yeah.
About Illmatic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So this will just be a conversation about it. So just sit down and relax with us, and and let us know what you think of the album as well.
Yeah. We
in the
want
comments.
to hear we want to know what everybody thinks about it. So I listened to it again from start to finish, and I can't say I had any mind-altering experience listening to it a second time. I just liked it even more than the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar to the Wu-Tang, possibly?
Yeah. Similar in that regard to the Wu-Tang. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think overall I preferred it to the Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers.
You preferred Illmatic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I mentioned in the reaction to 36 Chambers that the Illmatic seems to have a bit of a wider scope in terms of what they rap about, the content. So I found that a little more interesting for me, you know?
Uh-huh.
I mean, in Illmatic, he paints this incredibly vivid, real, and very honest picture of his life and the life of the people he hung out with in that area of New York. Queensbridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's to me it's a very honest and almost courageous thing to do in a way.
Yeah.
I think.
I know what you mean, yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Wu-Tang differs in that they're still definitely being true to themselves.
Oh, yeah.
It just doesn't seem like you're right there, or... Not that you're right there, but...
Well...
Illmatic is like a true reflection of his life on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, exactly.
But Wu-Tang is a bit more of a... like a movie, in the sense where... like they have the kung fu stuff put in there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, don't get me wrong, I liked it. And I found a real similarity in the music. Well, the boom bap, those rhythms, because both of them use that a lot. Although I did find that the Nas album was a little more jazzy. There was a little more piano, I think.
Certainly,
it just seemed to be on a slightly higher level than the Wu-Tang for me, somehow.
Mm-hmm. It is sort of a tighter package, I think.
Yeah.
The Illmatic.
Yeah. I think the Illmatic album, the Wu-Tang, most of the songs are really very forceful in their delivery.
Yes.
Whereas in the Nas album, some of them are forceful, but others aren't as forceful. And I like that contrast.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to think of some of the numbers that were like that, but like Memory Lane, I think wasn't quite as forceful. It had that really almost dirty sounding organ that I loved. Mm-hmm. But I just... What notes did I write?
Even One Love.
Life's a Bitch.
Life's a Bitch,
Life's a Bitch. It had that much lighter percussion, going on.
Yeah.
And then the story to Life's a Bitch was good, where he, he talks about the stuff they got up to, but he also has a bit of there's some wisdom there. I think he's maybe a little bit older, and he's realizing that, you got to think ahead to the future. Life's not only about living the moment,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talks about saving some money, putting it to better use, that sort of thing. That was a good song.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Is it?
For sure, yeah. I was listening to the album.
Yeah.
Just prior to this on my way back from work.
Yeah.
Just to refresh myself, even though I know all the songs, most of the lyrics, but I thought that Life's a Bitch is a highlight, 100%.
Do you want to know my favorites?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. My favorites were New York State of Mind. That's the first one. Simply because it just, he just depicts this life of his in the streets, and you're right there with him, you know? And it's just, he's got that bit of foreboding piano. Dun, dun, dun. I forget exactly how it goes.
Yeah.
But it just makes it sound like
it's off kilter.
He's on his toes, watching out, hustling, and you know. So it's really, I mean, I could see how they could make a video to that song and really work with that song to make an awesome video.
Yeah, it's stimulating in the most dangerous way.
It is, yeah. That was great. I love that.
And that what you felt from that song is perfect, because that's exactly how he wanted to feel. He wanted you to get into that New York state of mind.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
Yeah.
You know,
almost right off the start. Yeah. And then of course that classic line, "I never sleep because sleep is the cousin of death." My favorite line from the whole album.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, maybe not the most smart in terms of rhyme or anything, but it's just such a powerful thought, you know.
Yeah.
And it really tells you what it was like for him and the people he knew, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Great song. I also really liked "The World Is Yours."
Nice.
I thought that was the jazziest song. The world is yours. The world is yours. Yeah.
Whose world is
very contagious.
Yeah.
Right?
That's one of my favorite songs in terms of, the whole package. But Nas's rapping is just so smooth on that song. So smooth.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'd have to go back and hear it again to make sure I know exactly what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. But I love that, and also the just there's optimism in that song, in some of the lyrics, you know, and encouragement. He's encouraging people. So I thought that was a nice sort of mini theme in that song, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It is the theme of the song, I think. With,
okay. Not a mini, a major theme. And then I love the lines where he says, "I sip the Dom P, watching Gandhi till I'm charged, then writing in my book of rhymes all the words past the margin." And we talked about that before.
But it's great, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And that got me thinking when I was listening to it again earlier today. I thought, how many, coming out of a place like Queensbridge, you know, how many naturally talented or gifted people there might be who never realize their potential because of the circumstances in which they were brought up. I mean, there must be so many like him, right?
Yeah.
So the forces of negativity and stuff that you have to sometimes that you're dealing with, and which take control of your situation and maybe your path. Mm-hmm. You have to fight against those things. It must be so damn difficult, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And that's the impression you get from this album, then?
Yeah, exactly. And that song is just, that's probably my favorite, I think.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah. That's a good pick. I can't complain with that.
Okay, let me go on to my third.
Okay.
What do you think of this one? What do you think it's going to be?
What do I think it's going to be? Okay, well, possibly Represent.
Mm-hmm.
Or One Love.
Yeah, Represent. Yeah. Because the beat is picked up. It's a bit faster.
That's the song that DJ Premier produced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of his beats have a sort of a driving tempo.
Yeah, right off the bat, there's a lot of energy in that song, and I like that.
Yeah, with those background vocals there.
Yeah, the whole thing is really good. And then it's it's the second last song on the album, mm-hmm. and to me, it sort of caps off the album. It's almost like a summary of sorts of his life, living in this area of New York City. Mm-hmm. So kind of summarizes everything, and I thought that was a great way to go out. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
It's interesting though. I thought the rapping was almost like an '80s type of rapping. It seemed a little more. I might have mentioned that when we watched it before. The chorus for sure.
Yeah, the chorus. Yeah,
and just
in terms of the rapping too.
The flow of the rapping, I thought was a little bit sounded a little bit older to me. I don't know.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Or are you just being polite?
No. I think I can see that.
Yeah.
In terms of the rhythm.
Yeah.
But the speed at which he does it, and the sort of calm conviction that he says it with, is unlike 80s hip hop.
Okay.
But that, they call me Nas. I'm not your legal type of fella. I'm a wet drug. Like
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Compared to something like it Ain't Hard to Tell, the next song, the last song in the album, he starts off, it ain't hard to tell. I excel, then prevail. There's this sort of complexity in rhythm and pausing.
That's what I thought.
That
yeah.
But he kills it though on Represent. So.
Oh yeah, that's a great song.
He's the hungriest there, for me.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't care that much for Ain't Hard to Tell.
Oh yeah.
To me, it sounded.
That one was produced by Large Professor.
Okay. All right. I found that song, Ain't Hard to Tell, to be kind of more of the same. A little bit. And Represent was such a strong song. He could have gone out with that song and left it at that.
Okay.
So I didn't find Ain't Hard to Tell all that great. Although there was a part where they go da 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 or something.
Oh well, that's the beat. Yeah. Da 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 da.
Yeah. Da 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 da. I like the beat.
The beat is glorious.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite beats.
Okay. Yeah, I did.
I know what you mean though about that point.
I did like the beat.
How it could have been capped off with Represent as a closer.
Yeah, it could have.
In a way, well, It Ain't Hard to Tell was, I believe, the second single before this album came out. Halftime was the first one.
Oh, okay.
And it is more the same, but it is the best of that same.
All right.
On all fronts on the album. It's better than Halftime, no question. I honestly, I don't think anyone could argue that, really.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even jot anything down about Halftime because it didn't really grab me that much.
I think you might have liked it more than on the first listen. You really like that driving, or not driving, that deep bass. But about It Ain't Hard to Tell, even though it was a single, he might have put it on the end there because it's like a celebratory track, sort of about himself.
Is it?
Yeah, well, he's talking about his lyrical ability, his technical ability, about his ethnicity, celebrating that.
Yeah, but so I just thought it was a bit, in terms of the theme, a bit repetitive.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and also I didn't really care for the. It's funny, the first time I heard the song, I didn't mind it, but on second or third listening, that repetitive ding, ding, ding that went through the song. There's a sound of, I think I called it, it sounded like when you're waiting for a train to pass. You're in your car and the bar comes down and it goes ding.
Oh, yeah?
Ding. Yeah.
Could that be a vocal sample there?
I don't think so.
It just goes like, no?
No.
Okay, no. I don't know.
Yeah.
If I can think of it off the top of my head.
It's minor, but it just sort of, I don't know. It didn't go over that well with me.
Right.
Yeah. So those were the three really good songs.
So that was New York State of Mind,
The
World Is Yours, and Represent.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good choices. Those were those are among my favorites as well.
And lyrically, the one that tugged at my heartstrings the most was
One Love.
One Love.
One Love, yeah.
Yeah, that was also good.
Yeah.
I thought the content of that song, the meaning, was really, really good. Mm-hmm. Musically, I didn't find it as strong as some of the others.
That's the same song where I think it was Nas's dad, Oludara, has that little outro part. It wasn't the saxophone; it was another instrument.
That was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought the music wasn't as good as some of the others.
Mm-hmm.
But the lyrics, actually made up for it.
Okay. Yeah. That definitely was the most vivid storytelling song in the album.
Yeah.
And So we discussed this already, and we actually learned from the viewers that it was the first rap album to really have this big lineup of different producers.
Yeah.
Before it was just an MC and a DJ.
Yeah, we didn't.
I didn't actually know it was the first one.
Yeah.
Do you think that sort of paid off? Just thinking back to the Wu-Tang, RZA produced the whole thing. Did you find that there was more of a...
I think maybe it did.
A sound that was coherent through the whole thing on
Wu-Tang?
the Wu-Tang compared to the Illmatic, to the point where it was more enjoyable? Or
No.
do you think it was...
No, I think having all these producers worked. Yeah.
So too many cooks didn't spoil the broth?
No, I don't think so.
Or
I don't.
What is it? Spoil the broth?
Too many cooks spoil the broth.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it didn't. Okay.
No, I think it really worked.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's sort of... there are 10 songs on the album.
It was probably better that they had more producers.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
There's a big variety of sound, especially for 94.
Yeah.
I don't think you really got that with any other group or album at the time.
Yeah. And I gotta say, Kai, that again, it's hard to believe this guy was 21 when he released this.
He was 20.
20.
And most of the stuff was written when he was 18, 19.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned that actually.
Yeah.
In the comments. Yeah, because he sounds so much older.
Yeah.
Not his vocals so much as just his way of rapping, and
he's got a crazy
and the whole album. It's just the whole package. It's hard to believe he was that young.
Yeah, it's so sharp for 10 tracks.
But I guess you grow up fast in the circumstances in which he grew up.
That's what he said on the album. In certain points. I think we discussed that in our first reaction as well.
I don't remember.
I forget what exact lines he said that in.
Yeah.
Maybe someone can help us out. But I know that he did refer to that.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of truth in that.
Yeah. And how, with the album cover, he was 7 years old there.
Yeah.
And that was when his world started to change. And at 7, I don't think my world started to change and I became a lot more perceptive at 7. I think it was a lot later for me, but it's hard to say. It differs for everybody. But that also could have been because of his environment as well.
Well, you didn't face hardships at age 7.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
No slaps in the face for you,
Yeah.
By age 7, yeah. Yeah, so definitely, given his circumstances, yeah. Yeah, it was a great album.
It's if I can say something about it, I think it's a great album, but I don't think it lives up to the title or status of best rap album ever.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot of people,
did you hear that?
a lot of people that listen to hip hop think of it as a sort of an equation of certain things combined together. They think, okay, look at it individually. The beats, the rapping, they break down the rapping in terms of like flow, rhyming, right? And then they have like the message. So they have their building blocks for a perfect album sort of thing.
Yeah.
And if it all adds up, then it's a perfect album.
Yeah.
But I just don't view music in that way. So for this album, it's very it's like a perfectionist album. Only 10 songs. Everything's very fleshed out. Lyricism or technical ability on full display. But I don't get the same impact as I do from some other hip hop albums. It just doesn't have the same sort of intangibles.
Really?
Yeah. It's
hard to articulate that kind of idea.
Yeah.
When you talk about intangibles.
Yeah, well, art's not a perfect calculation, so
no.
Just because I think the beats on this are close to whatever perfect may be, and the rapping is up there with the best.
Yeah.
I just don't think that adding those two things together equals a perfect album.
I wonder if... Okay. Go ahead, sorry.
I think it's... I don't know. it's like a great collection of tracks that gives an overall feeling that is strong, but I don't come away with a certain message that is as coherent as other albums or as potently put. And that might be because I didn't grow up then and I didn't go through the same stuff as him. So that might be it. So I might just be a bit ignorant to that fact or lacking in that case, but I'm just not convinced that it's the best rap album.
Right. But you I know for a fact that you appreciate the notion that when you look at music, you have to look at it to a certain degree within the context of its times.
Well, of course.
Of its time.
Of course, yeah.
Right? Like if you compare the works of Michelangelo to the works of a Cro-Magnon cave painter, well, actually, I think what I was about to say, actually...
You can't compare them, but...
I meant the exact opposite somehow. No, okay. Well, I'll keep with that idea. People might say, well, look at Michelangelo. Look at what he created. And the works of art that were created by some cave painter, Cro-Magnon cave painter, and are so simple and rudimentary and compared to Michelangelo. But taken in the context of when that guy lived, 50,000 years BC, maybe that guy was just as good as Michelangelo relative to what other painters were doing at that time and to the context of his time.
Yeah, I completely understand that, but I don't think it's just about relativity to time. Because it's just I think that
I've just opened up a big can of worms here.
Art isn't throughout the decades or centuries, it's not always equal.
Yeah. In terms of how great
the art is.
That's true.
True. That's why there was such thing as the Renaissance and great art started to emerge again. It sort of went through a bad period there.
Yeah.
And just because someone might have been the best during that sort of sunken time doesn't mean that they're the same as the best person in the Renaissance period.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I'm not here to articulate that, but you get the point I'm making.
Yeah, I get the point.
So I don't know. Yeah. It's a really hard thing to judge. I guess each person has their own
way of doing
it. I mean, the way to look at art is subjective.
Yeah.
I don't think it's completely up to personal enjoyment in terms of valuing it. But obviously, if you do value it in a certain way that is a certain method to value it, I think that it's just a matter of how you justify it.
Yeah, everyone has different criteria, right, for judging what is great.
Yeah, and I guess for me, it's just not a calculation of certain components.
Yeah. I guess what I was getting at when I opened that can of worms was when you said you don't consider it to be the greatest rap album of all time. Yeah. Although you will be the first to admit you haven't heard every rap album.
Yeah.
I've heard, but you've heard a lot. You've heard a lot.
Yeah.
So are you were you headed in the direction of saying that there is some more there's some more modern rap that you feel is more profound or more significant?
Yeah, more than Illmatic.
Yeah, you don't have to go
more than Illmatic.
You don't have to name names. But,
I think possibly even in the 90s too.
Okay.
I can think of a couple. I'll leave viewers wondering.
Right.
Or the 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll have to expose you to those albums now.
Yeah.
People say, "How dare you say Illmatic?"
Yeah. That's right.
What do you know?
They're gonna have it in for you now.
I mean, a lot of people.
You're a goner, man.
I know a lot of people watching have listened to a lot more hip hop than I have over the years.
Yeah.
So you can maybe school me in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's at least that's what I think right now.
Yeah. But having said that, you still feel it's a phenomenal album.
Oh yeah. Oh, totally. Like if you were to ask me, it's just off the top of my head.
It's up there.
it's up there.
Yeah.
It's up there. It's up there.
Okay. I think you've just saved yourself.
But at this point, they've already gone to the comment section to.
Yeah. You see, I can say whatever I like about it, and nobody's gonna give me a hard time.
Yeah, like I'm the authority in this dynamic.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. It's a little bit cooler out here today.
It's actually cold, so probably at a lot of points we were both sitting like this, I think.
Yeah, the weather's gone down like 25 degrees Fahrenheit or something. It's crazy. But, really enjoyable to do that.
Nice, yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. And
maybe we'll cover the Kendrick. We might go over that soon.
Yeah.
It's really up to you.
Doing the Kendrick this way out in the yard is... that's a big mouthful for me to chew and digest, and add further to what I heard. But I would like to hear that again.
Yeah, maybe we can do it in a couple weeks, and that way you'll have a bit of time to let it sit.
Yeah,
marinate a bit in your mind.
That's right.
Yeah, and then we're gonna also do an album reaction this upcoming week. We probably will do in the next couple days, and it'll be up on the weekend.
Yeah.
Then we'll do a discussion video for that as well. You don't know what album it is though.
Well, I suggested Barry Manilow's greatest hits. You guys, let us know what you think of that. Barry Manilow.
I could never react to a compilation album.
No, I know.
Unless the artist is so obscure, he didn't release any albums, and it's just a bunch of loose works.
Right. Yeah, I know. You really hate compilation albums.
Yeah.
Songs taken out of the context of the album,
I can't do that. I can't do that.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. Okay. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you soon.